Hello everyone, if you are a Brazilian football fan, if you want to know everything that's going on in Brazilian football right now, this is your channel. My name is Ronaldo Ferreira and I'm speaking all the way here from São Paulo, Brazil. Please don't forget to subscribe, give us the thumbs up, share this video, leave a comment, talk to your friends, and if you can and if you want to contribute to the growth of this channel, my PayPal account is in the first comment and in the description of this video. All right, new era in Brazilian football has started. Mr. Carlo Ancelotti has arrived. Round 10, Rodada 10 of Brasileirão. So 1/3 of the tournament has almost already been another round. Sadly, to say that the Brazilian clubs are on, how can I say that? Standby mode. Let's put it like this, okay? Because of the FIFA Club World Cup, this round, especially round 10, was really, how can I say, bad. So I think this round 10 and round 11 will be like, the clubs that won't be in the FIFA Club World Cup are expecting a time to rest, recharge their batteries, and the clubs that will play, they are like planning, when they're going, which team, who will be the starting lineup. They're not thinking about Brasileirão right now. They will start thinking about Brasileirão after this FIFA Club World Cup, and there is the last round of Libertadores this week, okay? So it all started with Fluminense 2, Vasco 1. So it's an important victory for Fluminense. Vasco scored first, okay? And then Fluminense scored 2 goals. It was in Maracanã, this game. This game was the exception. There was a dispute. They wanted to play. It was a very, very good game. Okay, it was on Saturday. Fluminense climbed some positions, and Vasco is still in the same position. But it was this one. I watched this game. It was a good. São Paulo 0, Mirassol 2. An amazing, incredible result for Mirassol. São Paulo was playing at home in Morumbi Stadium. A lot of people there, and Mirassol, this is the first year of Mirassol in the first division. Mirassol went there to São Paulo, came here to São Paulo, and scored 2 goals, and the second goal was scored by a former São Paulo player, Reinaldo. It was a penalty kick. Every time Reinaldo touched the ball, the São Paulinos would boo him, but in the end of the game, there was a penalty kick, and he scored, and he shut everybody up. Atlético 0, Corinthians 0. That was another bad game for Atlético and another bad game for Corinthians. These two clubs are on standby. Sorry, I know why. Atlético and Corinthians will play this week. Corinthians Sul-Americano and Atlético in Libertadores. If they don't win, there's a big chance that they don't advance. So they were thinking about this game this week instead of playing Brasileirão. That was a bad game. No wonder the result was a draw. So as I said, it's a standby mode. After the FIFA, in 30 days, there will be another championship. Grêmio 1, Bahia 0. This game, I think the video assistant was a necessity because there were a lot of referee mistakes. And I honestly believed that the video assistant was introduced in football to solve this problem. Like, if the referee makes a mistake because of whatever reason, the video assistant without technology would get and say, you know what, there is a mistake, why don't you come here and take a look and change your position. So this is a perfect example. This Grêmio 1 was a penalty kick, Danish Braithwaite. It wasn't a penalty. Nothing happened. The keeper didn't touch him. He just pretended it was a penalty. And then the video assistant called the referee and said, "Ref, there's something wrong. I don't think it's a penalty. Why don't you come here and take a look?" The referee went to the video. He watched everything, like 5 minutes of standby, and he confirmed the penalty. So this was very, very bad. Especially for Bahia. Grêmio was playing at home in Porto Alegre. And instead of saying, so this time the video assistance was right. The video assistant says it wasn't a penalty, but come here and take a look. But in our opinion, there are 4 people here. We think this is not a penalty. By the images we have here, it's not a penalty. Why don't you come here and just, the referee went there and said, no, it was a penalty. I confirm my mistake. So, Palmeiras 2. Palmeiras 0, Flamengo 2, okay? So it was a surprise result because people were... Usually Palmeiras and Flamengo are the 2 best teams in Brazil. They are winning all the championships, they have all the money and all the best players. There's no question about this. And when they play, usually there is a draw, usually 0-1, okay? And Palmeiras hasn't beaten Flamengo in Brasileirão in the last 8 years. So this is not common that Palmeiras beats Flamengo. The usual result is a draw, usual. So the last 9 games, 8 games was a draw. So Flamengo won last Sunday. There were 2 questionable penalties. The referee whistled a penalty to Palmeiras, but it seems that the player was outside the box, okay? Or he was outside the line, I don't know. And the penalty for Flamengo is also questionable. And and Palmeiras lost. Piquerez, the left wing, he lost the penalty. And there was another questionable penalty for Flamengo, and Flamengo scored, okay? And then in the second, and after some minutes, Flamengo scored the second goal. But Palmeiras and Flamengo are the same case as Atlético and Corinthians. They are on the standby for the FIFA Club World Cup. Flamengo has 2 wins this week in Libertadores. Palmeiras has already advanced, so there's no problem about that. But it was on a standby mode. It was a good game to watch because it was on TV. For Palmeiras, my team, bad result. But Palmeiras still leads 1 point against Flamengo. Flamengo is in second place. Palmeiras is still the first place. Sport 1, Inter 1. Oh, Sport. Sport was winning the game at home. Remember when I told you that the clubs from Pernambuco state, they usually bring a lot of people to their stadium. So this happened last Sunday with this game. Okay, so the stadium was packed. Sport Stadium, the name is Ilha do Retiro. Sport scored first. Inter, scored the other goal, so there was a draw. A big disappointment for Sport. So still, this is round 10, and it's still 0 victories for Sport. Really, really bad situation. Sport is another team that is waiting. Is looking forward to the FIFA Club World Cup to change some things in their football team. Vitória 0, Santos 1. So 1 victory. So finally a victory for Santos. Neymar played, okay, in the second half. Neymar in Santos now he sits on the bench. He's not in the starting lineup in the 11. All right. He played. Santos scored. All right. So it's a good game. So Vitória. The game was in Salvador. Vitória was playing home. Bad result for Vitória because Vitória, lost a home game again. So another defeat for Vitória at home. This is not good. But Santos, the good news is Santos won and Neymar played, and he played. This time he played well. Fortaleza. This is funny. Okay. Fortaleza 0, Cruzeiro 2. The magic that was with Inter now is with Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro is climbing positions. 3 rounds ago, Cruzeiro was in the 12th position, 13th position. Now Cruzeiro is in the 3rd place with 20 points. It's funny for me because, I'm not the coach. Voivoda, the Argentinian coach, he was so upset. I don't know if he was mad, if he was sad, that he went to the interview, the post-game interview. He said, you know what? I'm not okay. I'm so upset that I'm so sorry, but there'll be no interviews today. So he said goodbye and just left. He left the conference, the room. He just left the press. No interviews today because I'm mad. This is the second straight defeat for Fortaleza in different competition, but he didn't look good. His face was, he wanted to kill someone or I don't want to be a football coach anymore. I'm going to work with something else. So, but it's funny because it wasn't me, but, sorry, Voivoda, so if you watch this video, so I hope things get better to Fortaleza, okay? He's an excellent coach, all right, by the way. Bragantino 1, Juventude 0. Beautiful goal, okay, by John, number 10, okay? He played for Palmeiras, so he was a former Palmeiras player. The curious thing that the players from RB Leipzig were watching the game. They were really impressed by the goal. But they are changing experiences between the RB from Germany and from Brazil. This is their visit. They're going to visit here, and then they're going to play a friendly game against Santos in the other weekend, not this weekend, the other weekend. Because the next weekend there'll be the 11th round, okay? Rodada 11. There was supposed to be Botafogo and Ceará, but as there was enough time for, because Botafogo played Libertadores, not Libertadores, no, Copa do Brasil, and there wasn't enough time, In Brazil, you need, the players must rest for 70, I don't know if it's 72 or 76 hours. So there wasn't this time, and then they transfer the game to another date, is for the 4th of June, okay? Botafogo and Ceará. So as I said, Ancelotti is here. He has arrived. He gave his first interviews yesterday to Brazilian media. He called the team for the South American qualifiers next 5th and against Paraguay and Ecuador, 5th and 11th, if I'm not. When I look here, there's a calendar. He's going to train the team. The training sessions will start next week. This week, he's going to see some games in São Paulo, São Paulo, Rio, and Belo Horizonte. He's going to see some games. I believe he's going to watch Flamengo tomorrow against Flamengo tomorrow in Libertadores, Palmeiras and Cruzeiro in Belo Horizonte, Mineirão, and he's going to watch 3 or 4 games. He came with his family. He gave a lot of interviews yesterday. So he spoke in Spanish. So spoke in Spanish. So everybody understood him. People asked a lot of questions. So he's here, right? So he's going to be part of Brazilian football right now. And this week, it's the last round of the final round of Libertadores. We'll define who will advance. So as I said, São Paulo and Palmeiras have already advanced. Okay, so Flamengo has to win. Inter has to win. If Inter beats Bahia, if Bahia beats Inter, Bahia advances. Just 2 Brazilian teams. Botafogo, Botafogo advanced. No, Botafogo did not advance. Botafogo has to win. Botafogo has to win. Inter has to win. Flamengo, 2, but Flamengo has in my opinion, a very easy game against Deportivo Táchira. But let's see. This is not about. I'll tell you everything on Friday. Okay. So I guess that's it, and I see you in the next videos.